Hello everyone, this is Jason. In this video, I will show how to mass delete related records using a flow. And the use case I came up with is, let's say on this account, I have a field called active, and whenever active is equal to null, and say we save the record, then we want all these related cases to be deleted, regardless of status, priority, or any other fields on these cases. And this probably is not the realistic scenario in real life because even though an account gets deactivated, we still want to keep these cases for a variety of reasons. But hopefully, this video gives you an idea of how to use delete element and getting related records in the flow. So let's go to this flow, click on new flow, and we'll choose record trigger flow. It is important to understand which flow version or flow version to use depending on the use case. In this case, you could use auto launch flow and then create a process builder to trigger this flow, but let's just keep it all in one place and use record trigger flow. And the reason why we chose this record trigger flow is because we already know the requirements of when to trigger this flow, and whenever flow or record is updated, we want to flow to do the work for us. So click next, and a record is updated, and run the flow after the record is saved. The reason for to choose this after the record saved is we want to access related records to that triggered object. So in this case, related records would be cases and triggered object would be an account. And let's choose an account object. And you could leave this condition requirements blank and then use the decision element um, to run the flow or move on to the next step. But let's just keep, I would say, in my opinion, defining this condition requirements if you can is the best practice so that flow doesn't run every time an account gets updated. And so the condition is when active equals no, and click done. Okay, there are two ways to do this. You could use the get records element and then say get related cases an object case, and then query this case by account ID equals record ID that triggered this flow, and then select all records. And then you can do um, a decision element whether this get related cases were found or not, and then go from there. But I won't do that in this case because you don't really need to do this get related cases. You can just simply go to delete records and let's say delete related cases. And in this delete records element, you can specify the condition and set the case an object. Here you can query these cases that you want to delete. And so you can do account ID equals record ID, which triggered the flow, and that is it. So once you delete records, you don't need to do loop through element because once we found all the cases that we want to delete, we are not updating to different values or anything depending on which case or record we are looping through. We are simply mass deleting the records. And if the requirements or the scenario gets complex, whether let's say we want to keep the cases when status equals new, then we want to probably grab more elements to meet their requirements. But the purpose of the video to show them how to mass delete all related cases, regardless of the fields on these cases, I would say this is sufficient. but let me save, and let's say delete cases when account is deactivated. All right, let's go ahead and activate. All right, so now let's put this back to yes. All right, so we have these 4 related cases, and the expected result is all these cases need to be gone when active field equals to no. Here, you can see that all the cases are gone now. And so hopefully this makes sense to you, and I'll see you guys in the later video. Thank you.